Okay, another day, another attempt to finish this piece. Yesterday I was playing a little bit with the piece of code that we stopped with, which is this convention set. And what I basically did, as you saw me at the end, is copy paste what's currently in the provider for SQL Server and then just change it for what I need. So it's a little bit cleaner and hopefully puts everything into correct place instead of like replacing other stuff. It was definitely something with like the services or the conventions that are there, as we saw, because as soon as I enabled like TPC, something was changing. Well, the value generated was changed in my model. So there was definitely something happening, and instead of me trying to figure out what exactly was different, because really not important, I need to fix it anyway. I just said, hey, if it works for SQL Server, then I can just replicate this one. And well, it did. It fixed it. So now if I have my program, everything works as expected. So that's fine. And I can continue with the tests themselves. And if I run the tests, it gives me an error that basically I am having table per concrete type mapping, but the ID is configured with incompatible database default. I copy pasted it in here. So that kind of makes sense because, for example, if you configure your TPC with identity, by default, Entity Framework complains because it expects that the identity column is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you have different tables, and in each table it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so on, then obviously you have like same IDs for different entities, yet it's the same base type. So if you have like an animal and it's a dog and eagle, exactly as I had in here before. So I have a dog, I had eagle, not important here. So if I create dog and insert it into the table with a TPC, it creates an ID 1. And if I create an eagle and insert it into its respective table, it will again create an ID 1. So that means if I fetch these two records back into my application, Entity Framework will be completely confused because it will say, hey, I see two animals with ID 1. And that's not like allowed because then the identity map and identity resolution and everything basically falls apart. And unless you specified your identity with different start, so one is starting from 1 and has a step, for example, 10, and the other one is starting from 2 and has a step 10, then obviously you will have this collision. So yeah, that's where we are at. So this is working now. I have this warning. Where is my warning? There's my test explorer. So that means at least it's not failing completely. Now it's on validating value generation. And what I did just before I started is that basically there's a relational model validator that's validating that if it's a TPC mapping strategy and there's a key with on add, at least one with on add, it basically gives me this warning / error depending on how you set it up. So that's fine. In the SQL Server, it's slightly different because it's also saying, hey, if it's an identity column. So if it's an identity column, then it's a problem. If not, if it's on add and everything else, then it's fine. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to go for this one because we have high-low, which is basically okay. We have the the sequence trigger in Firebird, which is usually okay. I need to check how I'm actually generating it. Obviously, the identity that sucks. So what I need to do is get the relational model validator probably and create a new class. Let me see how that goes. So in internal, is it in internal? No, it's an infrastructure internal. Do I have infrastructure here? Yes. There it is. So let's create a new class. Put FB model validator. Let's fix this piece of code. Copy paste this. We'll copy paste this one. And so it's public. And I need to have the constructor, obviously. Let's clean this up a little bit. And then I guess I can override, validate, what is it called? Validate value generation. There it is. And I can copy paste this code, I guess. Let me put it this way so it's a little bit interesting. Not interesting, a little bit easier to read. FB value generation strategy, and if it's not identity column, let's keep it with identity column only. What do we have in here? We have sequence trigger. Let me check how I'm actually by default generating it. There it is. Yeah, by default, I'm using one generator only. So yeah, that's okay. What it basically means in Firebird, what you can have is you have basically two options. You have a trigger that generates the ID or whatever else is needed, and it's using one generator, one sequence. Or you have a sequence for each table. The end result in general is exactly the same. I'm a fan of having one generator for basically two reasons. The first reason is that you have one object that it's in like in metadata tables and everything. So if you have 400 tables, with the other option, you have also 400 generators. If you have only one, that's fine. Given that it's outside the transaction control and everything, there is usually not that much pressure on that sequence. So that's like okay, let's say. Obviously, if you would have like, I don't know, like 15,000 tables and a lot of inserts, then you can probably have a pressure on that one sequence. But I've never seen that happen in Firebird. And the other one is that if you are generating the same IDs, like a different IDs for the tables, for all the tables, there's one small improvement, and that's if you have an ID, you can uniquely identify the record not only in the table, but across the database, which I know relational theory and other stuff, yada, yada. What I want to say is sometimes customer sends you an error message or part of the error message or screenshot of the error message. And what you have there is something that's important plus the ID. If you know that you have unique IDs across the whole database, or at least most of the database, what you can do is just have a view or have a helper stored procedure or something that will tell you which table and which record it is. So you can have like a find table or something and it will put that ID. It's obviously going across all the tables, so it's really slow. but it's going across primary key, so it's not that slow. But yeah, if you have 400 tables and you need to go across all of them with like view or something, it's a little bit overkill. But you are not doing this every time when you are running a code. It's just like a support type stuff, debugging type stuff, and so on and so on. So let me put this on one line so it's a little bit easier to read. Yeah, so why I'm saying this actually, if somebody is using the sequence trigger, then I'm fine with that. That works even without the identity column in Firebird 3. So the sequence trigger is fine as long as it's the default one. If it's not the default one, if you have a different behavior, then yeah, you are on your own. And I'm thinking this one is in migrations. I don't know why I put it in migrations, but it is actually in migrations because it's generating this part of the code and then it's completely transparent, I guess. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's the correct place. So if you are using the default one, that how I implemented it, it's fine. Everything is okay. If you have a different strategy, then obviously you might want to maybe just disable this warning whatsoever because you know what you are doing. But I'm going for like pit of success or something like that. And I think I need to register it somewhere. So it's probably going to be somewhere here. Let me, what I'm going to do, do you think that search for the symbol if it finds it? Wow, it's awesome. And just copy paste it. So it was annotations provider, helper, annotations provider. Okay, so it's here. I'm trying to keep it roughly the same structure as the SQL Server or other ones, mostly for the sake of being able to like see what is the order and something, because sometimes the order matters. Like, hey, I'm asking for a service, and if this one is not registered before or something, it might fail and something. And obviously, like singleton and scoped and other stuff. That's definitely that. So with that, if I run this one, we should be closer to not failing. Yes. Yep. So that's it. So we have the TPC tests working. We improve the conventions. Obviously, there's a small chance that something is not working right at the moment, but let me do a little bit of cleanup. So this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. And this one can go basically. Yep. TPC, whatever, it will be merged later anyway. So this is going to complain. Yes, reload. Nice. This is empty. Awesome. 31. By the way, one of the like I don't want to say more important pieces for Firebird 4 to support is, instead of having this hard-coded, take it from user or maybe have like a default one, because in Firebird 4, I believe, you can have it all the way to 63 characters. The only problem is that you can also change it. So I cannot hard code it in here or have like an if statement. Like if somebody configured it for Firebird 4, let's have it on 63, because it can be a little bit less. Although I think nobody is making it less. There is no reason whatsoever to have it less, at least I think. Obviously some backwards compatibility and something, maybe somebody does not create a bigger one. If you have some custom replication synchronization, I can definitely come up with reasonable scenarios, but maybe I will hardcode 63 and have like just a compatibility switch. Like, hey, in the options, to give you like, there's a FB options extension where this like explicit parameter types and explicit string literal types, there will be like Firebird version, because I'm not sure, or like a compatibility level or something like that. I'm still not sure whether it should be provided by user or whether it should be detected. But especially given given some steps are happening before you are connecting to the database, or as you are connecting to the database, I don't think I can check the server version before some conventions, for example, are being applied. So probably it will be hard-coded or something like that. But it's a problem for another time. This will be probably in this dependencies or something. There is a current context, so maybe it's happening after it's connected. That would be awesome. And the relational dependencies, not much interesting. That's problem for another day when the Firebird 4 is completely implemented, because we have new data types and time zones and all this different mappings and so on. So let me close this one. Let me take the test explorer and run for my life, basically. That's the Firebird 3. Okay, let's see how that goes. In the meantime, I can do git push to push it there. And oh, not good. Yeah, that's something that's unfortunate, obviously, because I changed some FP value generation strategy cannot be set right at the same time as default value. Remove one of these configurations. Fair enough. That's something that I am probably not doing properly. I can close this one. Little bit of cleanup. In the meantime, let me close these windows. Let's check how we are looking in here. Yep. And last time I published it was version 9. I don't think there's a breaking change in the provider. I don't know whether I mentioned it before. I think I did. I'm still kind of contemplating what to do with the versioning, because at the moment the version of the provider, the ADO.NET provider, and version of the entity framework provider are using the same version numbers, which is really easy for like consumers, I guess, because if you have the same versions, it's fine. You can obviously have like a different-ish versions, and it will probably work. The problem is, for example, right now, I am creating a new version of the entity framework provider with maybe no change. Oh, the EF7 change, sorry, the .NET 7 change in the provider itself. There is the Firebird client, and so on the copyright, it's .NET 7. And that's about it. There's some white spaces, yeah, and that's it. So there's no change in the ADO.NET provider whatsoever. But on the entity framework core side, there is a big change basically for this one. So it's definitely a new major version, I would guess. So anyway, what I'm contemplating is, what the hell? Oh, okay. So what I'm contemplating is whether to split these versions or keep it together. Having it together is really easy, really straightforward, even for me, even for the consumers. Splitting it opens the can of worms like, hey, I have a ADO.NET version 9 point whatever, an entity framework or 10 point whatever. For you, like, does it work together, basically? And for me, hey, these two different versions are probably not well together and it's difficult to release and test and something. Anyway, I'm not sure yet how to handle it. And it's failing even in my tests. So that's kind of nice. That basically means I have easier life with dealing in what's happening. There we go. This one is still running. And what was the issue? Let's see. FB store generation convention validate. FB store generation convention. Value generation for ID at the same time as default value. I mean, I can have both, at least in Firebird. So it's the to computed insert, sequence insert. Let me check. Identity insert. Well, let's take the identity insert. That's probably the easiest one. And what I have in here, create table identity, generated default start 26, primary key. Okay, identity insert context. And in my, it's use identity column. And it was saying that I have a default value as well as other stuff. Ah. And does it mean the default value in? Come on. Where's my, there it is, identity insert. Let me, what is it? Test, no, where equals test, something like this. Identity insert, is it correct? Let's not test its name. Or is it this one? I never know. There it is. Cursor for ID at the same time as default value. Ah. Let me check. FB store generation convention validate. Let me check what's in the base implementation. Validate. Ah, there we go. I actually have it in here. We can check. Whoa, we made it worse. SQL Server, for example. Let's give me 7. Let's find this one, SQL Server store, edit convention. Where is my validate? It might validate. Slightly different. Let me copy paste it and see how it looks like. Okay, so why is this? Oh, why is this complaining? There's not the let me quickly find, maybe it's a custom extension method. Yeah, SQL Server Logger extensions make sense. Makes sense. Anyway, so what's the logic? They get the value change strategy. If it's null, then it goes validates and that. Fine. Configuration source, that's exactly what I have. I'm checking different one. Is it? Oh, I have a different one that's basically the same. So if it's not none, then I need to validate it. Just checking try get default value. We can probably do that. Okay. That's a little bit easier. Try get default value. Store object out underscore. This is the same stuff. Oh, that was just this one. Why would I do that then? Well, I save creating the value, but it's probably fine. Okay, so that's basically the same. And I need to check why is this happening. So let me run it again. Yeah, default value. What the default value? 0. But that's maybe the aha. That looks like the key to success. Maybe there was a reason why it was this one done. Yeah, because there is no default value. There's no default value in SQL, and there is no default value in computed column. Nice. I'm wondering whether I need these spaces. Probably not. And all this can be one line as well. It's clearly copy pasted some time ago. Oops. Come on. And this one is a little bit easier, I guess. So let me remove this one. Run my tests again because these run way faster. Nice. So let's do this. We can remove the breakpoint. This is it. This is it. This is it. 240. What failed in here? Oh. Okay. So yeah, again. So my tests are fine, right? Let's make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, these are fine. This one should be fine. All right. Let's try this. That's probably going to still fail. Nope. This one. Fine. This one. This one is still failing. This is the TPC. Makes sense. I probably forgot about something. Still failing. Oh, let's... Yes, TPC storage identity. I've seen that. Let me see what's happening in there. Oh, maybe it's a... Let's debug the test. Well, let's go inside. It'll be a little bit easier to hit that drink and value generated on add. There's some annotations. Value generated on add, that makes sense. Where I have my annotations. It's not public. There it is, annotations. FB value generation strategy, and the value is identity column. Yes. So that basically means that if I take this one and check the fixture, I guess... No, that's not what I want. I want this one. SQL server fixture. Ah. High-low. Makes sense. Is it... What was this one? Ah. So I guess when they set TPC, it switches the model into using something else. How am I going to do that? I think I need to do store generation convention. No, sorry, value generation convention. This one. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I cannot set blindly the identity. I am almost almost sure. Let's try this one. SQL Server. Oh yeah. But on initialize, they set identity column, which is exactly what I am doing. And on finalizing, that's different beast. For each entity type, for each property of entity type, if the name is null, strategy not needed. So it's resetting the strategy. Makes sense. Need for undershove in the model snapshot. Isn't something, yeah, that's what I have in here as well. And is it the same? Mostly. If has sequence. If strategy is sequence. Interesting. So let me put it in here and in here, for example. And let's run this test. I'll not run, debug. Okay, so I set it on identity column. Okay. For each entity, animal, property on add, value chain strategy is identity column. Can I like, can I quickly see whether there's a TPC? Let me check what I have in here. Entity type. Fine, there is nothing about inheritance. Because looking into this one, it's let me try something. Let's check the scratchpad again. And I need there we go, SQL Server. Let's give me 710. Yes. Nice. So my context, it's DB context. Do on configuring, options builder, use SQL Server, on model creating, and let's do options builder, sorry, model builder. Oh, come on. Model builder, what I want, entity. Let's say animal, the same stuff. TPC mapping strategy, and model builder entity dog. Should be it. Abstract class animal. Oh yeah, we need property, ID, and class dog, animal, something like that. Using db equals new my context and console write line db model toString, and there should be there's a to debug string, yes, to debug string, and I want long default. Awesome. Is this going to work? I don't know. What do you mean expected? Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, so it switches it to sequence, although the default one is identity column. That makes sense. If I remove this one, it's identity column. Okay. That means that something somewhere is setting it to sequence. This one is useless, except for a sequence that is setting the sequence name and so on. Is strategy none needed? So if it's on add, no default value, no, and it's identity column. Provider CLR type, converter. It's called sequence. That's the convention. That's what we have. Relational max identifier, index, memory optimized D function, output clause, not needed. On delete, store generation convention. Okay, value generation convention. That's. Oh, they have. Wait a minute. Where's my. Did I mess it up? Store generation convention, SQL Server store generation convention. Yes. And then it's a value generation convention, which is this one. And it's Oh, no, that's correct. There's a strategy and this is a convention. Okay, good. Shared table convention, runtime model convention. Not sure what that is. So let's check runtime model. What is that? No, that's not what I'm looking. Shared table. Okay. Ah, okay. Temporal tables, that's not something that I need. Hmm. I mean, is strategy null needed? That's not what I want. It's somewhere, I'm pretty sure. And I'm also pretty sure that I could hack it together in, where am I? No, that's not what I want. Probably somewhere here. Or here. But I don't know whether it's the right place, you know, like if I try to find every place that's using this symbol, uh, how could I find it? Mapping strategy. That could be slide sequence. Yeah, let me double check what I can do or cannot do. And now it's identity and it's TPH by default. Not sure that this is going to be at and is it SQL Server stuff? Let me double check. Yes, it's SQL Server, so it's not something is default. This is the validator. That's not what I'm looking probably for. No, this is just validation. This is not changing anything. Although it could, but it's definitely not the right place. So if I do TPC mapping strategy, because it clearly needs to be something like this. And then, no. What I'm trying to find is basically where is it being set or change. Oh, get def. Oh, yeah, maybe that's my problem. Let me fix my AC real quick. It's too cold in here. Yeah. Wait a minute, but it's get default value generation strategy. Do I have something like that? Get default. No, I don't. Oh, it's actually private, so it is used somewhere. Because this is exactly what I'm looking for. It's like, hey, if the mapping strategy is TPC, then sequence as identity. So where is it being called here? No, that's the declaration. Oh man, one of those. Haha. So what I'm looking at, this one. I don't have this one. I read only property. So we don't need high-low sequence. We kind of clean it up a little bit so I can understand what's happening in here. Maybe I need to split it into. Yeah, is the read-only property and everything. I property isn't read-only property. Read-only property base. Okay. Check value generation strategy is compatible and so on and so on. Okay. So we have these methods: get value generation strategy, mutable property, convention property for source. No idea what it means. Yeah, that's exactly the same. We can fold this one and set value generation strategy, I guess, is exactly the same. Dot value. This one is convention property. This one is mutable property. I have both as void, even the convention property. Probably never needed it. So that's fine. So what we are looking at is what if now that's not that easy. Let me check where I'm actually hitting it when running the test. There we go. Okay, so yeah. I'm thinking, what if I copy paste the whole code and tweak it instead of trying to match it to my logic? Although it's always the same. Mostly, I guess. No, it's exactly the same. So I get the annotation. If the annotation is not null, then I do this or none. Ooh, okay. And that's everywhere on the public ones. So let's get the value generation strategy. This one is calling the other one, and this one is extremely interesting. This one is public. That's just calling that one. Well. the value can be null. The annotation, but not for me, I guess. I guess. And it's calling even find annotation. So I think I can fix that. Why is this one? Okay. And if I do it this way, then it's fine because it's returning object. Anyway, I'm not sure whether I want to start fixing this and doing that. So it's null. Value generated is never, so it returns none. It's fine. Never, so it returns none. Never, so it returns none. Again. Let me put a breakpoint in here. And check whether I hit it with animal discriminator, animal name, species. Let's do this. Yeah, so it's the animal ID. I don't have that one. So the model strategy is identity column, which is fine. But I think I need to check. I need to check exactly what's happening in here, which is if it's a TPC, where's the code? Get default value strategy. That's it. I lost it somewhere in here. It was. Let's try to find TPC. There we are. Property declaring type. Yep. Okay. Why is it complaining? Get mapping strategy. It's probably extension method or something now. Hate it. Property. Get mapping strategy. Oh, they have read-only property and I'm in convention property. That makes sense. So now the question is how to fix this if statement. Your sequence trigger is fine. The identity column is fine. So let me do this. Yes, we can fix it this way. If it's TPC, then it will be sequence or high-low. No, sequence, because it's closer to identity column than the high-low, because high-low is basically client generated, while the other one is fine. All right, that should be it. I'm really not sure why there's declaring entity type and not entity type declaring type. Maybe it's an extension that I don't see. See, they're using declaring type, get mapping strategy. Maybe, check, maybe I'm on a, oh, there it is. I was on a weird commit or something. All right, let's try again. Nice. I go into this. It's compatible. Model strategy. Anyway, let it. Okay, so it's going into correct place. Let me check whether it's actually working fine or not. Yes. The only problem is that what if I have a column? Because compatible identity is this, while sequence is whatever. Because with sequence, I can change whatever I want. Sequence trigger. Although it can generate, yeah, it can generate whatever. I don't care. So I think I need to, if it's identity, yeah, I think I need to remove this one. If it's identity column, then if it's TPC, then it's pretty simple. It's return sequence trigger. Simple as that. Else, if it's compatible identity column, then it's identity column. Yes. What is the IntelliCode suggesting? What? That's completely wrong. Now the question is, can I, and if it's not, then it will go into this one and either the none. I guess that's how it should work. Let me replace this and this. Can we do it with like, no, I don't want to invert if. What about this if? Can we, this is weird, like if it's identity, then I do this. This is more important, and this is like else. Should be else and another if in, else if. It's weird. You know what I mean? It's like if this, okay, and it should be else because it's like not the TPC, but still I need this one, but it's in here. Ah, I don't want to do the nesting there like multiple times. Okay, let's run the whole set. Nice. One failed. Can insert, update, delete. Oh. Okay. Let me check what we have. This one. This one. More TPC. And let's push it so it's running. And we can see whether we have more failures somewhere. More TPC. Good. So can insert, update, delete. Well, at least it's failing on Firebird, which is always a little bit easier than hunting it in the code. What's in there? So it's creating new Kiwi. Changing eagle ID, bird, Kiwi, remove Kiwi. What? I think the problem is, yeah, we can remove that one. All the EF core, it's probably not properly created. Fingers crossed. Nope. How does the database look like? Show tables. Birds, and this one is failing on Kiwi. Show table Kiwi. Before insert, that's fine. Select ID from Kiwi, ID 1. Why is it trying to save it again? Show trigger select gen ID gen identity 0 from RDB database. It's on 1, so the next one should be 2. I don't understand that, but it's fine. So it's a fact. It's a fact, and I can remove this. Let's keep those two. How we are looking here? So far, so good. I'm thinking where I'm going to jump into it. I think I will do FB command, good old FB command. And I will do execute non-query probably. That's batch command, not really what I wanted. Execute non-query, there it is. Or maybe it's asynchronous, I don't know. Let me run the test. What? Ah. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. There we go. So where is my LB command? I guess it's non-query. So what is the save point? Ah, shit. It's using save points. Why would you do that? But it's actually fine. It's only one, right? The next one is rollback to save point. Why is it doing rollback? Is there an it's an exception. Error. Saving entity changes. Release save point. Oh. Is it doing a reader? It is probably, it is doing a reader because it needs the new ID. My fault. It's the insert, but it's executing as a reader. Let's do it here. Okay. Let's try again. There we go. Check the reader, or scaler it could even be. Well, let's check where we are. Ah, nice. It's selecting stuff, that's fine. Insert into Kiwi, yes. Returning ID. Why is the test failing? Wait a minute. Aha! I think I know what's happening, and I don't like it. No, no, no. So now it's the select, now it's the select, now it's the insert. I will kill it. Select ID from Kiwi. Yep. The problem is that the seeding is putting data in there. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. Where can I find it? Functional tests. And I will go into the test store, into the initialize method, and I will debug it again. There we go. What's in the seed? In the seed, there's a method, right? So I create a database. Well, I almost create a database. So it created the database and should create it. Let me check how it looks like. Good. Makes sense. It should be only structure. This is heck. This is heck like hell. Clean and then do the invoke. Create animals. Use generated keys. False. Use generated keys. Might be the use generated keys false. That's fine. It should not generate keys. Use generated keys. Should be true. Yes, that's exactly it. It's creating Kiwi and generated keys false, so it's using 1. Otherwise, it's 0. Boom. So now the question is, do I fix the test or do I fix the trigger? And the answer is, I fix the test. I'm using the sequence and the sequence is failing. It's funny that only one test failed. Now, obviously, shitload of other tests will fail because I changed how stuff works. Oh, well. Oh yeah, we can revert that. Before I commit this one, let me run it again and everything, because I changed, I don't want to say a lot, but definitely not a little. Let's keep this one. How we are looking in here. Still running the functional tests. It's 12 minutes already. And to give credit where credit is due, this is nice. As much as I am like 50% hating the entity framework functional tests and 50% liking the idea of having big suite of tests that everybody can use and we are kind of running on the same baseline. This one is like 100% like it. Somebody was thinking about it, or maybe they hit it with some different strategy, but it's basically what it is, right? Like I'm having slightly different behavior in Firebird. I could fix it in the trigger actually, but it would be a huge breaking change. And even like diverting from the normal behavior and setting the generator to value sucks because it's outside transaction control and so on and so on. Yada, yada, a lot of problems. But just changing this value, it's like, hey, I'm actually generating the IDs myself. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Nice, like it. And this number is also nice. Like we have 13,000 tests and I only had to skip 800. And from these 800, I would guess like 100 is the migrations. I'm having my own migrations tests because it's basically way too different for Firebird, how it behaves and how it expects things. So that's the first batch. Then I would say like at least 200-300 is the cross apply, possibly more. I would say even like 400 is the cross apply. Yeah, definitely more because there's I think if I remember correctly, there's one test suite that is basically all disabled because everything is cross apply. So let's say 400. That's around 600 tests are disabled because it's fundamentally impossible. And the remaining 300 is like something is not supported. It behaves differently, especially the ordering. That would be another probably 100 tests. That's not bad. Actually, 800 tests from 13,000. I was expecting more, to be honest. Ah, not bad, not bad. So far, so good. And fair to say, we are running on Firebird 3, which means some tests are actually being skipped. So that might fail on Firebird 4. It's like cat and mouse, right? I was like, hey, I will fix TPC. Then I fixed everything in TPC. There was like 20 tests failing. I fixed that. One was failing, so I fixed that. And now when I run it again, it's probably, hey, because I changed some conventions, something else might be completely broken and failing and whatnot. But well, no, actually the the Firebird 3 tests are still running. Kind of. Half of them. How am I skipping the test? Am I running the test and checking the exception or just skipping the test? Wait a minute. Oh, I'm skipping the test completely. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but kind of, because yeah, I remember from yesterday or whatever, what day it was, that sometimes the initialize fails. So I cannot even run the test because it would fail, not, yeah. And then I would have to manually say, hey, this one was failing because of initialize and this one was fine to run, but it, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Fine. We are on 12,000. Looking good, looking good. Six more tests. It was actually only one test, but whatever. I'm so nervous. We are still 2,000 tests. That's still a lot of stuff. A lot of shit can happen. What's the time? Hour and a half. Not bad, not bad. Come on. That's probably now the long ones that are running like minutes. You know what? I am just going to push it. I'm feeling confident. And I've said that, I don't know whether out loud, but I've said that at least in my head a couple of times already. I think if you look at the live stream, probably like when I was on chapter 6 or part 6, I was like, oh, this is so close. I feel so confident. And now we are part 11. Yeah, part 11. Whoa, yeah, all green. Yes. Yes. That's it. Victory. Let me reset the scratch pad and everything. Close this one. I don't care. I don't care. Delete all breakpoints. I don't care. We are there. Well, Firebird 4 still. Don't care. Fix more tests. At least Firebird 3 is fine. Now the question is Firebird 4. Let me shut down 3. Open the test explorer. Where am I? There it is. Is there a filter? FTB. Good. I think I still have a branch for the goods. There was some fuck up. Good as well, whatever. Let's run it. Let's run the whole functional stuff. See what's what. And I should probably update the 5 because the 5 I'm using here is like early version. Yes, so that's my tests. That's always a good sign. I know .NET 5 is out. 5 is out of support, so that's another bridge to cross. Like what I'm going to do with this one. Like it's out of support. I'm still building for it. Am I going to remove it at some point or keep it there forever, or for how long, or do we just keep LTS or go for net standard? Not happening, or what? But let me fold this a little bit. So we have alpha 1, so I will create a beta 1. And because we are so good on time, hour 30, 1 hour 35 minutes, something like that. I think I think I will show you the push. Is it important? Probably not. But if this is green or this is green, then I will finally close this one. Let me open the branch and do the compare. Is there some summary with files? There is it. So 117 files changed. It's a lot. As five, what the hell? 5,000 lines edit and 218 deletions. While it's running, let me still check something. Yeah, this is something that I would like to fix. Run it on 4.8. Net standard 2.1. That's okay. Probably nobody cares. This one is still net 6. So it's net 7. Net 7. Everything else is net 7. That's fine. What else is here? Yeah, using .NET 7 to build it. That's fine. .NET 8 is behind the corner. Get to use target framework. .NET 7, which reminds me. The notepad. Yeah, we are using this to get yeah, this is another one that I'm having this version stuff and the nupcakes and everything to go back into changing the versioning, because then well it shouldn't be that difficult to check the version for each and every one of those. And in tests, I guess I'm using that as well. Yeah. Configuration used framework. That would be a little bit more difficult, but still just something to. Yeah, the EF6. EF6 would be hard coded because it's basically done. All right. So let me continue reviewing this stuff. Okay, .NET Framework set configuration. That's fine, I guess. I just changed the condition. .NET 6 or greater. And it's, yeah, entity framework. Yeah, okay. That's fine. And the rest is just real changes that I need to go through carefully. Remove the tests because obviously tests are tests. But most of the time we spend on tests, right? So yeah. And the high-low, okay. Let me run the header. Come on. Oh, yeah. Actually, leave it there this way. Oh, come on. I can run it and see which files are actually. This is in object. It's still running. We are green. So let's do this. What is actually still changed? Value generator cache? What's there? Oh, yeah, fine. Git clean. Visual Studio is holding that file. Close this one, close this one. Yes, try again, please. Good. Let's run the header. XUnit does not have that one. Do I need it? I don't know. Utilities is probably copied. Binary encoding is copied from something. Let me check the XUnit whether I need it or not. Probably not. Yeah, it's again, everything is expanded because I deleted everything. Helpers, XUnit. Do I need that? Probably not. Yeah. Although it should be there. Let me put it there. Oh, it's like 3 times bigger. Utilities. Yeah, that's definitely something that I copy pasted from EF. Yep, that's another one. That's the extensions. Maybe I should copy them back, like synchronize them to be precise. And this is something that I created. Okay. Maybe I can do that while the tests are still running. Let me find this file. And let's give me 710 so I'm not touching what I shouldn't be touching. Let's give me a raw file. Let's do the same for this one and the enumerable methods. Not sure whether I want to go that direction, but so these are string builder extensions. Looks like exactly the same file. Shared type extensions. No red pieces. Good. Not sure whether it's bigger one or not. And enumerable methods. Oh, sorry. I need to copy the file, not the URL. Let's try building the solution and see what fails. Should be somewhere here. Let me search for it in my code. No, that's not what I want. I want this. Yep, it was in shared type extensions. Line 184. So what's around there? 184. Get generic type implementation. Let me blindly check. There should be something for SQL Server, no? Let me check that. SQL Server scaffolding code generator. Ah, okay, there's no the provider. Get runtime method. Switch to get runtime method. And it will be null. Probably. Oh, yeah. Probably a different overload. And it was the only failure, right? From this, let me build it again. It succeeded. Good, so tests are green. Let's kill Firebird. Close this one. We run header again. That's fine. By the encoding, this is, and this is assembly attributes, utilities. Yes. Oh. Is PowerShell command, I'm confused. Yeah. I don't know why I used that one. So what do I want to do now? Whatever. Enable. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's click foo because I don't care. Hit push. Make it a little bit small. Close the VS. Close this. Close this. Whoa! No, 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 no. One test failed. And not on my machine. And where is this failure? No failure. There it is. Oh, query cancelled. Probably not fast enough. And given the 5 and 3 did not fail, that's probably just intermittent failure. Let's check this one. And in the meantime, give me the tests. There we go. There we go. Ah, I closed Firebird. It's on Firebird 4, right? That's weird. But maybe the machine was not fast enough, or let me check what the test is actually doing. So it created cancellation token source, starts the query, it's immediately canceled. Check the exception, query canceled. Not null, yeah, okay. It's basically trying that. Let's run Firebird. Let's run the test. But it was not failing before, so I think it's yeah, I think that machine is just busy. And it takes only 200 milliseconds, so it's not something that's running too long. Let's hope that the next round will be better. I can probably shut it down, close this, and let's wait for this one. We have 8 minutes until 2 hours. So I would like to see it green, but we will see. Okay, let me fix my AC because it's getting too hot in here again. Given it takes 6 minutes on my machine, 6.5. How long before it failed the previous one? It took 11 minutes. It should be okay. We have like 6 minutes. This one's already running for 4. With a little bit of luck. What was the foo actually committing, just in case? Oh yeah, this one. Oh, that's fine. I was thinking that maybe I could rerun the failed one there, just in case. In the meantime, let's check the repo, because I think there's a few pull requests that I'm kind of postponing before I do the EF7. So that's this. And somebody actually created some PRs in my own repo. The scaffolding, that was merged, no? Oh, I just need to review it. Okay. I merged some scaffolding stuff. There it is. Okay. Is this different one? Probably it is. Okay, then I need to review this one. This is no merge, and this is something that I think is still discussed, or I don't know. Yeah, I know. This one is from 2022. A long one. but it's also fixing a deadlock in Pool Manager. So I need to find like a quiet time for, I don't know, like hour or something, like prepare it and find an hour, test it, review it, and see what is actually happening. Because the change by itself is not that hard and not that difficult. It's basically putting stuff outside the log. So yeah, okay, that's fine. So functional, still running, still running, still running. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. What I'm doing here. Clear that. Okay. Something failed in here. That's fine. I'm not worried about this one. I'm more interested in the EF core. And I guess we will rerun it multiple times before it's merged. God damn it. Well, but it was fine on my machine. Let me view the raw logs because this is useless. Oh, this is okay. I know what it is. It's a race condition when it's creating stuff. So we can rerun that and it will be fine. Whew. Good. And it was weird because it was in like 6 minutes. Or something, 9 minutes, but something, the build takes a little bit. So can I rerun? Oh, I cannot rerun what failed. I need to fix for the whole stuff. And how is this looking? Running 6 minutes. Is it only this piece or together? This like scrolling would cause me a seizure if I would be looking at it. Especially as it's like the bottom black and white part is like shifting. Yeah, I know the entity framework runs the tests in parallel. They are going above and beyond to be able to run them in parallel. But I remember initially it was causing me trouble in Firebird with some pieces. And I wasn't into like the cleanup process after the test was like, it would be probably easier to run it sequentially. And I still believe that it's easier to run them sequentially, especially as we're trying to like debug something, or yeah, with databases it's difficult. It takes a little bit more time, but probably still okay, especially on CI, I would guess. Let me think about it. On CI, it's probably fine because nobody's looking at it. And if it takes too long, then it's too long. But then you have a different setup locally versus on CI. So hey, it works on my machine. It fails on CI because of some race condition or something. Yeah, no, I want to run them sequentially, especially as I'm not working on it every day, all day. So if something starts suddenly failing because like the infrastructure changed slightly, you saw the problems with XUnit. Ah, no, it failed. One failed. Please don't tell me it's the same test. Can insert update delete? But I fixed that. Yeah. You use generated keys. Yeah, that's correct. You use generated keys. Hmm. Okay. And yeah, let's go and start Firebird again. I know I should close this one. I jinxed it. Oh, maybe it's a different one. Let's run all of those 5 tests. No, it's fine. You are lying. If the 4 at least finishes fine. But this one is not like it failed. Is it this? Yeah. It's not like it failed randomly, right? It just failed because database says it failed. It has a TPC inheritance. That's weird that it's the TPC one. That was one that I fixed. TPC inheritance credit test. Firebird 4 is fine. Let me rerun that. Or actually rerun all failures. The other option is that there's a bug in Firebird 5 actually. It's early alpha anyway. And this commit was use generated keys true. That's one, right? TPC, yeah. Switch to the true. And it was fine on 5. So this is probably and by the way, I know that I'm building it multiple times. And then running the tests. If somebody is interested in creating like a chain, like pipeline dependency, so it builds it once and it just executes the tests, that would be awesome because it would save some CPU cycles and save some dinosaurs or whatnot. Okay, let's wait for this one to finish. I think given that 4 succeeded, it's something. I mean, it does not make sense. Why would it fail with this one? Is this link saying? Oh yeah, this is a nice picture. I'm wondering, the 4 and 5 are exactly the same. There is no difference in this one whatsoever. So why would it fail on 5 if it succeeded on 4? And it succeeded before. Like, what would be... Maybe... Okay. I maybe know what it is. And I am not gonna like it. TPC inheritance, this one. Oh, where's the fixture? TPC has quite a fixture. Is this being used only in... It's used in filters, which is weird because it says use generated false. Well, whatever. But it's not inheritance, right? It was something else. It was TPC. TPC. What was the... I lost the... Can I open still that one? Can I see the previous run? Yeah, I can. Nice. So it was fail. It was TPC inheritance query FB test. Yes. Open that file. And it's using this fixture. Let me find who else is using this fixture. Okay, so it's only here, but we have some derived ones. Yeah, this one, and it says use generated keys false. Maybe it's a different test. It is definitely a different test, actually, but Fiber 4 still running. Use generated keys. True. Not that it fixes that one, but do I need to even override it? Because this one is already true. If I remove it, it will be true, right? Let me check that. Let me do all the TPC stuff. Still running. Okay. I will commit this one because I can. Still running. How we are looking. 4 minutes and the 3. Okay, that's running fine. It's not failing with the race condition. Or it's not actually, it is some kind of race condition because some tests fixtures are using shared stuff with different models, and sometimes it creates a different model and then reuses it because I'm using just the model, the entity framework model, not the one that I should be actually using, like creating the database properly from the get-go. But it served me well, honestly. There's a bunch of views and store procedures that I don't have and I'm not creating, so I'm skipping those tests. But other than that, it's fine. And it's way easier than taking, for example, Northwind database and porting it into Firebird. And not only porting it, but porting it correctly and creating the correct mapping and other stuff. Yeah, way too much work. And keeping it maintained, actually, because when I initially started, I was worried that they will keep changing the structures often, which is not that case. But yeah, anyway, it's working fine-ish. How is this looking? And we have actually the other one running as well. So I can open this one and hope for the best. Yeah, no, this is going to cause me a headache or something, like it's moving. So I'll keep it running. I will keep the Firebird running because I jinxed it like 5 times already. What Firebird version we are actually running? Oh, let me check this one. This is already completed, so it's not gonna be shifting. 5674. Whoa. I think that's like, yeah, 973. So I am like 300 versions behind. Yeah, I need to download a new one and prepare it there. Yeah, okay, so that one succeeded. This one that was failing with a embedded or something. But it was just one failure, right? That something crashed there. It happens sometimes. I don't know whether Firebird crashes or something happens, but it basically says, hey, unable to complete network request to localhost or something like that. So yeah, not sure what that's about. And let me check one more thing. Yeah, we are still running on TeamCity. And speaking of wasting CPU cycles, I think I should probably remove that one. Foo, it does not detect the new one, but all failed. Let me check what's happening in there. Maybe also .NET 7. Yeah, because it took like 20 seconds. Yeah. Maybe it's even on my list. Well, yeah, remove TeamCity builds. Okay. This one is running and it's still doing something. I like one feature of TeamCity that was working with NUnit. Maybe it's working XUnit as well, and even with NUnit with like newer the .NET test. But TeamCity was able to generate the XML file with the tests, and if one test failed, the next run it put this failing test on top, so you immediately saw whether it was fixed or not, and it was absolutely super handy feature. But then we stopped using it because we had a custom setup for running tests, not in Firebird Client, on a different project. But it was a super handy feature. And it would be nice if something like that would be doable with like these test adapters, this one. Or I don't mean like this exactly one, but there is this test SDK and test adapters. If it would be like, hey, run the failed tests first, not in the UI. In the UI, I can do it manually, and I can even select it. I think but like .NET test, and like it would generate a file from previous run, and if you run it the next time and provided a switch, or even the same switch, it would read the previous one and compare it. And if the test is still there, then run it first. That would be awesome. But then it would not work on CI because it's a clean machine every time, right? It would have to take it from the previous run. Yeah, that would be difficult. Or at least with the CI as we use it today, it's like clean machine every time, basically clean machine. You can obviously have machines that you are reusing, but not on these public ones. I wish to see like a progress or something. Like, hey, still 5,000 tests remaining, or I don't know. Whoa, birthday. This is probably the single stupidest feature with the birthday, because I have a bunch of random people on Skype back when the Skype was something to be used. And now it's telling me random people's birthday, because I think when you created the account, it later merged it with Microsoft account, and there was probably date of birth. So now it's all this nonsense. So how is this one looking? Good, somehow, kind of. This is probably the most boring video ever, at least now. So I'm waiting for the tests to finish. Not that the previous part was super entertaining, right? It was just me coding and fixing stuff. Firebird 3 succeeded. Nice. So we are waiting for 5. And it might be that some tests are flaky. And I'm okay with that. If it's like the functional tests, sooner or later, as I'm working on it and processing pull requests, it's I kind of become to know, hey, this test is maybe flaky or something. So on 4, it took 11, 12 minutes. And now this one is running for 13 already. But it's a, like, as I mentioned, alpha version. I guess it's probably unoptimized build that I'm using because I really used some nightly build at that time just to have like test coverage on 5. There's probably only 1 or 2 features in Firebird Client at the moment that are working, and one of them is parallel workers for backups and restores. So you can do backups. I don't want to backups, but you can definitely do restores in parallel, maybe even backups. I'm not sure, but anyway. So that's why I actually jumped on the alpha version, because I implemented it and I needed to test it. So I put it there. But I think all of the versions need to be updated, because even the Firebird 3 is pretty old, 3.10, and I think 3.11 was released recently, August 4th. Yeah, and it's the latest one. So yeah, 403, what I'm running, 4.1, I guess. I'm running the same on my machine for tests, because 4.1, yeah, that's kind of fine. Usually there is no failures in tests in between versions, especially not on Entity Framework. This is like too high level from that. Sometimes provider they fix something or something stops working, but it's not common. It's usually the other way around, that I'm testing something and I uncover something that's failing and shouldn't be failing. Okay, failed again. Same failure. Same test and same failure, but it's fine on 4. I'm wondering whether there is a hidden... Let me check something. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Server less than 4. Server version. But this one is 4 point something. That shouldn't be... Maybe I put equal sign in here or something, but it still shouldn't be that problem. Okay, that's fine. I think we are good. This one failed. This one will be still running. And if it's failing on 5, then it's definitely not failing on 3 and 4. Let me maybe do one more thing. So it's actually this test, just in case there's more of those. Let me go to 4 and see whether it's actually running. No. Whoa, it's not there. I don't believe this one. It's not there. That might be something. We might be onto something. Or is it just not finding it? Only this? I skipped. Oh, it's not reporting tests run. It's reporting skipped tests and failures. Okay. So it's not skipped. Okay. So that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I will leave this one running. I think it's good enough for at least beta. So I will publish the beta after a while, probably not immediately now. and push it to the final stable version. And yeah, we will see how that goes. So thanks for watching. Hopefully the next one finishes properly or not. Hard to guess. I'm not sure. How is it possible that before it was fine and then suddenly started failing? But yeah, maybe something changed somewhere. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will publish the beta one if you are interested in that and giving it a test. It would definitely help me if you say, hey, it works for me. And I will finally push it over the edge and have a stable version. I just need to fix the versioning and other stuff, and we can continue. So thanks and see you next time.